For example 2, we're going to sketch the hyperbola. We're going to name it center, the vertices, the foci, and we're also going to label the asymptotes. First thing I notice is that this must be equal to 1, so I'm going to divide the whole thing by 16. That'll give me x squared over 4 minus y squared over 16 equals 1. Okay. That tells me my center is 0, 0. My vertices, meaning for the parabola, if I go ahead and sketch it real quick, I'm going to move 2 in the x direction, 4 in the y direction. And once you do that, you make this little box going through those 4 points. Okay, then I'll sketch asymptotes, go through right through the diagonals of it, or the asymptotes. And since the x is first, it opens up this way. So the vertices are this point and that point. I can tell that's going to be 2, 0 and negative 2, 0. I square root the 4 to get 2, and therefore add the 2 to 0 and subtract the 2. The foci are the points right in there. To find those, we've got to use that formula. C squared equals a squared plus b squared. Well, good for us, this is a squared, this is b squared, so c squared equals 20 because 4 plus 16 is 20. So c is the square root of 20, which is 2 square roots of 5. So the vertices are going to be at, add them to the x because they're in the x direction, 2 square root of 5, 0, and negative 2 square root of 5, 0. Those are the vertices. Okay, the last thing I have to find here is the asymptote equations. And so they're in the form y equals k is 0, plus or minus b, which is 4, a, which is 2, because we know this is b squared, that's a squared, over x minus h is 0. So y equals 4 divided by 2 is 2, and that's just going to be plus or minus 2x. So this is y equals 2x, this is y equals negative 2x, and those are the vertices. See if you can figure out how to do number 21. Press pause, come back, see if you were able to get the right answer. Alright, so on 21, the first thing I'm going to do is divide everything by 36 to get x squared over 9 minus y squared over 4 equals 1. That tells me my center is at 0, 0, because there's no h or k. Vertices, they go in the x direction, so a is 3, so they're going to be at 3, 0, and negative 3, 0. My foci, use the formula again, c squared equals a squared plus b squared, so c has to be the square root of 9 plus 4, which equals the square root of 13. That means the foci are at square root 13, 0, and negative square root 13, 0. For the asymptotes, we're going to use the formula y equals k plus or minus b over a times x minus h. We know those two are both 0, so plus or minus b is 2, so square root of 4 is 2, a is 3, and so y equals plus or minus 2/3 x for the asymptote equations. Sketch the graph. 0, 0 is the center, move in the x direction 3, in the y direction 2. Go ahead and do a little dotted line box through that. And if I go through the corners and through the center, that gives me the asymptotes. And then since x is first, or x is positive, it opens up in the x direction. It looks like that. This should actually touch that point right there, though. Okay, so there's number 21.